Today, I did not have something very important to share with you, so I thought I can comment shortly about this video, which seems to be a CNN report. The report was published around 2011, and it is trying to show how most of the people in Afghanistan have never heard of 9/11. Let's hear part of it.
9/11 was one of those rare events that most people can remember exactly where they were when they first saw it. So perhaps we take it for granted that everybody knows what it is, or would at least recognize it. But is that really the case? Especially in some of the places that have been most affected by its consequences. Helmand in southern Afghanistan is the province that has borne the brunt of the fighting between the Taliban and coalition forces. While on patrol with the Marines, I get a first opportunity to ask a couple of young Afghan men what they know about 9/11.
Yeah.
No, they never heard about this.
Yeah? Can you show them a few more? And can you ask them, do they know where it is even?
We don't know, so that's because we're a farmer. We never heard about anything else about the world.
I just find that hard to believe. From my life experience, I have realized that most people in position of weakness will mostly lie if they think they cannot get caught. So these guys are in a weak position. They are being asked those questions in the presence of soldiers with guns. And what does the journalist expect the answer to be? If they said that they know what those pictures are, what could be the next question? The next question would be, what do you think of that event? Do you think that it is a good thing or a bad thing what happened? If they say a good thing, they are afraid of the soldiers. If they say a bad thing, they know that they are being recorded and eventually their village will hear what they said in the video. So those two guys will probably choose to lie and say that they don't know what it is. Now let me show you a soldier who seems to be convinced that they told the truth.
If I had just gotten here, I would have been surprised, but having been here now for 6 months, I'm not. This is pretty much the Stone Ages where we are.
And what did you think about their reactions?
Oh, I thought it was fascinating. The guy who said it was Kabul was clearly never been to Kabul. It just shows you how isolated they are, even in their own country.
This soldier is mostly brainwashed. From his experience in the United States, he has probably learned that most people will tell you the truth. Most of the things his parents told him, his teachers told him, his commanders, the colleagues around him, they mostly told him the truth. And he thinks that the same situation will be in Afghanistan as well. Well, he fails to realize that the reason people in the US mostly told him the truth is because most of them did not think he could harm them or benefit them. So they had mostly no reason to lie. But in Afghanistan, they see him as a potential source of benefit or as a potential source of harm. So they are motivated to lie. So clearly, the rich people are not aware how much the poor people are ready to lie. On the other hand, the poor people are not aware how much the rich people are willing to fool you with promises. People in position of power usually lie less, but they almost always break their promises. Let me show you another part from that same video.
They're saying the Americans saying we're gonna help you. They destroy one building and they destroy us how many buildings? And they say we're gonna help you. Where is the help?
So this guy is disappointed that the Americans said that they will help, but they did not help. Well, that's what most people in power usually do. They give promises and do not keep them. Now let me show you another part of that same media report where they conclusively seem to prove their point that people in Afghanistan do not know what 9/11 is. But it is actually just a triple lie or a triple manipulation of truth.
A survey taken in 2010 by the International Council on Security and Development found that 92% of Afghan men in Helmand and other Afghan provinces had no idea what 9/11 was.
So they are saying that 92% of Afghan men do not know what 9/11 was. Well, the first manipulation is that the video creates the illusion that the survey was done with pictures, where people could see the pictures. But in fact, they are talking about a completely different survey without pictures, while showing another recording which shows the pictures. Also, a few of the people in Afghanistan would claim not to know what 9/11 is, because really, in most countries, especially in Muslim countries, they do not say 9/11. They either say September 11th, or they have their own month. They do not necessarily understand the Christian calendar. If you ask them, do you remember those buildings which were destroyed in America? They would probably remember. A lot of them actually think that the Americans destroyed the buildings themselves. So maybe the question should be, do you remember those two large buildings which Americans destroyed and then blamed the Muslims for it? They will probably say yes. So whomever did that survey probably lacked awareness how locals in that region think. They don't have 9/11 in their vocabulary. They describe it with completely different words. The first time I heard the term 9/11 in US media, I also did not know what they were talking about, until I realized that they are talking about the attack which was carried by Al-Qaeda on the 11th of September. See, I know it as the 11th of September, as a European. In Europe we say the date first and then the month. If they ask me about 9/11, I need to sort of rewire my brain first before I can answer. Anyway, the third layer of the lie is the intentional spin of this report, as media usually do it. They probably know that the survey was not perfect, but since this report might support one political party with which they are associated, they publish the video report anyway. This kind of manipulation by reporting unscientific surveys is done by all sides of the media. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that it would probably save us a lot of energy in our life if we realize that most people in position of weakness will lie, and most people in position of power will break their promises when they can get away with it. And the point of what I'm saying is not to encourage us to go around trying to find who is lying and who is breaking the promises. That's not the point. The point is that if you don't want to get fooled and hurt, don't rely too much on the information which people weaker than you tell you. And don't rely too much on the promises which people stronger than you give you. For example, if you go to a job interview and the people in that company will tell you how the salary in the beginning will be this much, and then after several years we might consider an increase, don't make your decision based on what they promise you, if you don't think that the lower salary will benefit you anyway. They might be forced to increase your salary if it is in the contract, but if they can find a way not to keep their promise, they will not keep it, most likely. Politicians, for example, they almost never keep their promises. They will keep it if it is easy and if they think that it will benefit them for their future career, but not because they gave a promise. Anyway, I hope you do not take this video as an excuse to become suspicious with everyone. The point of this video is to increase our awareness how this world mostly works, but not to make us bitter people and people who are suspicious of everything. This is why the Quran mentions the jinns, who are in a weaker position than humans, as liars. And Satan, who is currently in a stronger position than humans, is described in the Quran as a promise breaker.